This is one of the rare occasions we need to go this way. Wow, now you guys drop missiles. Thanks. Look, they've all grown up. Except it's only one of them now. Are you gonna do your thing? Wait a minute. I have a solution to this problem. Or do I? This might not work, actually. But, I mean, we'll try. Nope. As expected, it counts as energy. Which, I'm... The only annoying part about leaving an adult Sheikah alive is they make you bump up and down. Anyway, we can scan this here. Magnetic rail system track. In morph ball mode, press and hold ZL when close to this type of surface. Use the left stick to move the ball along the track. Release ZL to disengage from the surface. Cost a morph ball bomb will briefly dissolve the ball from the track. More missiles. Alright, well, let's head back to the... It is funny that they do make you bounce a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, that, like, intuitively. I prefer to use... Spring Ball also just doesn't work regardless, because you have to detach from, or at least in the trilogy version, you'd have to detach from the rail if you wanted to use Spring Ball anyway. So I just generally don't use it, except for, like, a couple... notable exceptions. Space pirates, I believe, take over this room as well. Sure do. I don't really want to fight you guys, though. Because I'm on a tight schedule. Also, I said I'd be diligent and track that item that I just collected, but I don't think I did, so I'm going to have to remember to do that next time we go up an elevator. Hello, Fire Snake. Goodbye, Fire Snake. I like using Spring Ball for normal travel, but... like, it makes sense that it wouldn't work in Spider Ball. Anyway. We're coming up, actually, on the section that made me swear off using the jump even when I'm able to in Spider Ball sections. So, nah, I mean, I guess I kind of still do it on said section in particular, but for the longest time, I swore off of using them in Spider Ball sections. Because in order to use Spring Ball, you have to detach from the Spider Ball rail, which I just find is generally unsafe. Like, I feel nervous anytime I use, even in those times that I do use Spring Ball. Anyway, we want to go this way first. This is going to be somewhat suboptimal, but... Alright, I have to fight you guys. Oh, I never scanned the logbook entry here. Whoopsie doodle. The cries of this dying land echo in our ears as we Chozo watch the great poison seep ever further into the living pulse of the planet. The dark energy sinks into the trees and waters, devouring all life. Peaceful beasts die by the thousands. Some creatures survive, but their forms grow as twisted and evil as the force that fell from the sky. Many of these mutated monstrosities remain small enough to do little harm, but others grow enormous and threaten our very existence. One such beast defiles our sacred fountain, disgorging poison from its foul form, replacing pure flowing water with cascades of creeping death. In the face of such horror, we Chozo do not turn in fear. We are all that stands in the way of this great poison, and it is our duty to contain it. Cordite. Alright. Scanner 1. Scanner 2. Scanner 2. Scanneroo. Now that we've acquired magnets, how do they work technology, we can head up this way. Now this is actually one of the few sections I prefer to use Spring Ball. Because if you use bombs, it'll detonate the blocks. Also, that was a friend. We're going to be talking about them shortly. This is a Chozo aberration. Chozo ghost. Spectral entity. Bioelectric field invulnerable to natural energies. As these entities phase in and out of existence, the only way to track them accurately is with X-ray scanning. This partially phased nature makes them invulnerable to natural energy types such as fire, ice, and electricity. You'd think that whatever we generate to make our power beam would count, but it doesn't. Their aggressive and erratic behavior is most likely due to the corrupting effects of the Phazon and Talon 4. Environment. They appear to be drawn to Chozo religious sites where they wreak havoc upon anything that dares enter the area. So, these guys can only be damaged by power beam, but this does include so these things in the easier difficulty. These things only require one super missile. On hard, they take a super missile and a charge beam. Though in this particular moment, it's kind of hard to. Where the fuck are you? In this particular fight, it's kind of hard to keep track of them. So I'm just gonna shoot super missiles at all of them, even though I think I've damaged enough of them anyway. Their stun is really annoying. Yeah, I think I have actually shot all of them. Or most of them, anyway. There's one left. Anyway, we came back here. Explain these things then. I don't know. I blame Phazon. I would say even now they're just pretty much a nuisance. They're not that big a deal. Again, super missile, charge beam. Not that complicated. Well, I don't use the item I was thinking of getting until much later, so I might actually save myself a trip and come back for that later. And we're just gonna go get the next item on our checklist. Alright, we want to head to that room. Alright, I never did cross off the super missile. Research Lab A. Okay, definitely got one in Research Lab A. Research Lab H? Whatever. I'll sort that later. So I think Shoreline should be on here with Shoreline Spider. Okay. She expecting a super missile there. I think I do have both the super. We'll worry about that later. So this area, the mushrooms are now not a problem at all because you can just sort of platform around this area. Get up here, where you can kill all the shriek bats. And most importantly, you can make it up here, where there's an item. You can bomb jump to this. Seems kind of finicky though, so I don't really care for it too much. There is another missile tanker we can get actually, but I think I'll wait on that too. Ah. Forgot the jump button. So. New enemy in this room. Planet Parasite, hardy member of the parasite family, invulnerable to most weaponry, a cousin to the parasite, these creatures are known for their amazing resilience. Field studies suggest a weakness to morph ball delivered weapon systems. Though this has a magnet rail, we cannot interact with that puzzle yet, and this is a white door. That leaves our only means of entry is below this lore dump. What is this otherworldly pestilence that infests the land, seeking out life in his blind need for corruption? And where did the meteor that brought it originate? Was it crafted by alien hands, or is it a roving chunk of a planet that suffered a violent end? Our minds quail in horror at the thought that long ago, some corner of the universe, as yet unseen of our eyes, an entire planet was perhaps coated in this great poison. That is foreshadowing. Whatever the cataclysm may have ruptured that doomed place, must have been mighty indeed. And if other meteors from it spread through space, foreshadowing, bearing this evil from far corners of the universe, we hold fast to the hope that this is not so, that the only surviving remnants of this evil are here on Talon 4. Then, at least, there is hope for its eradication. Oh wait, I got the space jump boots in the ruins. Or the space jump item in the ruins. I don't know. Oh yeah, there is an item there. I'll have to get that at some point. Okay. There is an item in this room, but we gotta... Yeah, they're making us work for it. But first, more lore! The Entrusted One. If you read these words, then our hope has not been in vain. Your path is fraught with danger. Monstrosities beyond description lurk in the shadows, starving, hunting for prey, searching for ways to quench their poisonous urges that bloom in their brains. Some of these are shrewd, but they are blinded by their evil designs. Believing in the black promise of the great poison, they seek to harness it for their own ends. It is these last that are the greatest danger. When you rid the universe of these creatures, you will be the true Entrusted Ones. None know if our temple, the Cradle, will prove powerful enough to contain this evil forever. For now, it wraps around that abomination, cutting it off from the world above. However, we believe the power of Cypher, which has been produced by linking the 12 artifacts, should be strong enough. The fate of this world is now left to the one who will collect all the artifacts in the future. The time when the Entrusted One knows is approaching. Many Chozo are gifted with a distant sight, and even more begin to learn it as our harmonization with the universe becomes more and more complete. We peer forward, seeing prophecy in the ripples of the water, hearing rumors of the coming days on the breath of the wind. Though we celebrate the distant sight, many of these visions are dark, the worst of the prophecies, and the most common tells of the coming of the worm. Born from parasites, nurtured in a poisoned womb, the worm grows, devouring from within until the world begins to rot. Not all prophecies come to pass, of course, but we cannot help but fear this dark portent. So anyway, you gotta shoot this with the super missile. I got all the wrong buttons there. Like, all of them were wrong. I could not have done that poorer. Here we go. What room are we in? Crossway. Okay. This has a missile for me? Crossway. Oh wait, but I need to... God dang it. Alright. Alright. Things bound to the earth to earthly shapes are temporal and frail, existing in a single dimension. They are fragile, vulnerable, and ultimately mortal. However, not all things obey this law. Shapeless, they wait beyond the realm of perception, emerging only when one arrives who can feel their presence. Such is the will of the Chozo. Our will to defeat the enemy seeping into this planet remains. We desire only to see the darkness meet its end. The will of the Chozo has no mind or reasoning of its own. This will be the entrusted one's trial. Which, that scan, I think, kind of suggests that the Chozo ghosts, at least some of them, are testing us. There's also another scan in this room that we can collect now. Through here. I said through here. Missile station. Step into these stations to fully reload your missile launcher. There are exactly 3 of these in the entire game. Why are there not more of them? I think there's also 3 of them in Prime 2, but Prime 2 is, like, different, because, like, in Prime 2, 3 of them is a lot, actually. Whereas in this game, it's like, why are they only this many? There's so many areas that could use a missile launcher. I could have used one right after the pirate base, but nope. Three's a crowd. Not in this game, it's not. So if you're having trouble platforming into this thing, you can just jump on the hands and then walk. Okay, now before you leave here, make sure to scan this so that you can just walk up here next time. Wait, what? Oh. Fine. Where is it? I'm gonna get eaten by a froggo. Alright. This one, I think, is the next item. Sure is. And just like that, we've already got a better beam weapon. This beam weapon is slow, but is otherwise probably one of the strongest beams in the game. It can... provided you have missiles, you can two-shot almost anything. Provided it can be frozen. I'll show that off, I think, next time. Well, we can go a little bit longer. Okay. Oh my god, excuse me. So we can't actually proceed in this direction yet. But I'm coming here, because unless I mix my elevators around, this should lead to an item. And it does. So we're going to collect this and then run, because we don't really need to be here yet. If I was exploring this for the first time, I probably would go this way. You can actually go for a bit down there. There is stuff to see. But I'm just going to come back later. Yes, I believe that applies for most of the beams, I think. Yeah, I can show that off. Weird that the charge shot isn't black. Black ice. That is a real thing. Alright. Well, I think that's a good place to end off for today.